Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, I'm going to be doing a randomly generated hypnosis session that comes from certain random variables. So a location of anywhere in the world, I don't know where it's going to be, based on a random generator called Earth Roulette. We're going to use random noun generators to have certain words that we fuse into the hypnosis session. And we're also going to have two random emotions, plus whatever card comes up from the remaining Mike Mandel hypnotic language pattern cards, so that we get something new and unpredictable in this particular session. Just as a reminder for those people that might not be a regular listener of the show, why does it make sense to do a randomly generated hypnosis session rather than an intentional one? Well, it really comes down to flexibility. So I'm a big fan of trusting my unconscious mind to solve the problem of how do I turn all these randomly generated variables and fuse a hypnosis session from that. But by doing that, what it enables me to do is that when I have a client in front of me, I'm able to take inspiration from every single hypnosis session that I've done up to this point, and then pick the relevant bits that are useful. And what can happen with hypnotherapists is that they fall into the trap of using the same protocols, the same language patterns, the same kind of resourceful states. And that means that they become less and less varied. And the purpose of me doing these randomly generated sessions is to increase my versatility, flexibility, so that it gives me more options when working with real clients, and hopefully create something insightful, entertaining, or perhaps useful for you listening or watching if you're watching on YouTube. So I'm going to share my screen for those watching on YouTube. For those listening on the podcast, I'm going to verbally explain what's happening. I'm on Earth Roulette now. I'm going to click spin it, and it has come up with a place called Lodz, and I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing this wrong. Lodz, because it has lots of these different kind of, I guess you would call them umlauts in German, but not sure what you would call them in kind of Polish. Lodz in Poland, and it says here, here we go. Lodz is pronounced Łódź. I would not have guessed that from looking at the letters. It looks like L-O-D-Z, but it's pronounced Łódź. So Łódź is Poland's third biggest city and the capital of, I won't even attempt to pronounce that. Unlike most other large Polish cities, Łódź was created almost from scratch during the 19th century textile industry boom. So lots of mills, lots of industrial kind of things. And it has lots of industrial 19th century architecture from some of the largest factory buildings. So we might use some of these kind of historical factory type of buildings. It also has Poznański's Palace in there as well, and it has a zoo, and it's known for cycling. So there's certain things there that we can get inspiration from. Going now to the random word generator, I'm going to click 3 random nouns, and we have memorial. So if we think of memorial, it is normally something that is used to remember someone important. A memorial, quite often from someone who's died, is no longer around anymore. So memorial. Import. So if we think about the industry, you would import and export. So, but you can think about importing physical things over, let's say, borders, but also within yourself, you could think about what resources do you not have within you currently and you'd like to import them, and where would you import them from? And path. And, if you think about a path in terms of its functional use, it's to connect one location with another location. So a footpath or some kind of cycle path enables efficient way to get from one place to another. So we're going to use this in the hypnosis session, and then we're going to generate 2 random emotions. Okay, we have ecstasy and sadness. So polar opposites in many ways. Sadness is not just, if we think of happy, ecstasy is an amplified version of happiness, and therefore sadness is the opposite. So we're going to use those. And we're also going to use, if I stop sharing my screen, so we can see what's going on there. And I've got my hypnotic language cards. Let me give them a quick shuffle. And the first one that's come up is the 3 of clubs. It's the word how. And I'm just going to read this out straight from the card. How is called a process word. It keeps things moving rather than letting them get stuck. Asking them, why did this go wrong, isn't a very good question. But how can we fix this is a great question. Use this in hypnotic work. So we're going to use this, the word how, the question how, in this particular hypnosis session. So if you're listening, pay attention to when and how I use the word how. And here's the example. As you enjoy that trance, your unconscious mind can figure out exactly how it will make your life so much better. So it gets you focusing on the process. And I think a lot of people focus too much on the outcome rather than the process. And in many cases, the way that you influence the outcome is by focusing on the process. Through another business that I have, I worked with one of the most successful gold medal winning Olympians in British history, and he emphasized process over outcome. So he might not be able to influence the outcome of a race, but he can focus on his processes. So how he starts, what he eats, and all this kind of stuff. So process is really important, and how is a process word. So hopefully that kind of sets the framework, the foundations for this particular session. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, notice how you breathe in. Are you breathing in through your mouth or your nostrils? And as you exhale, notice how you breathe out. Are you breathing out from your chest or your diaphragm? And as you pay attention to how you breathe, notice that you have the ability to influence it. Notice that as you breathe in more from your nose and breathe out from your nose, you just get a growing sense that tension is leaving your body. Breathing in and breathing out, and if it's safe to do so on the next exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. And as they close, I wonder how relaxed you're able to go. I wonder how deep into this lovely state called hypnosis you're able to discover. And however deep you can go, notice there's another level deeper. And as you entertain the idea of just how deep in hypnosis you're able to go, notice that your body just relaxes even more. That you let go of even more tension, that you breathe slower and longer and deeper, and in doing so, you're able to get deeper and deeper into this lovely state called hypnosis. And in this hypnotic state, you're able to use and harness and tap into the immense power of your imagination. And I wonder how it would feel if you imagine just for a moment being perhaps in a different country. A country in Europe. I want you to imagine, just within your imagination, being in the third largest city in Poland. Just maybe 150 years old, and this city is Łódź. I want you to imagine being in a city with lots of big industrial buildings, lots of big factories that used to make clothes and textiles, and maybe some of them still do. A city created in a time of production, where a combination of ideas and hard work created clothing for people that couldn't access it in this way before. And I want you to locate a palace in this city. A grand building. I want you to get a sense that here in this place, you're able to find somewhere that you can explore. Imagine this palace has big gardens, fantastic facade. And imagine you're in that place. You can see the impressive architecture on the outside, a grand building with lots of curves, lots of windows, lots of arches. And imagine going into this palace, often known as the Louvre of Poland. And I want you to imagine walking down the different aisles, different areas. And this palace that's now a museum, I want you to see reminders of great people that have done impressive things, moments of history. And I want you to get a sense that each of these is a memorial of the accomplishments and achievements of these scientists, these artists, these people that contributed in a different time, in a different culture. And I want you to entertain the idea of, what would you like you to be remembered for? When people think about you long after you're dead, what will your memorial be? What do you want them to think about you in terms of what you accomplished in your life, or what legacy you left? What were you known for? I want you to imagine walking to a room in this palace that's now a museum and seeing a large painting of you. But the way that it's created, I want you to imagine that this painting is a memorial of you long after you're dead. Imagine seeing yourself almost like you're a historical figure from the past, and I want you to get a sense of, as other people see you, what would you want them to remember you for? I want you to get a sense that you're seeing yourself at your most resourceful. I want you to imagine seeing yourself that has gone from a period of sadness into happiness, the ecstasy that comes from contributing something significant during your life. And I wonder what would happen in this incredible museum with all of these great minds if you could import straight into your mind, into your energy, not their achievements, but the resources that enabled them to be great. Was it focus? Was it a way to harness their sadness to make a difference in the world? Was it creativity? Persistence? Imagine walking down the aisles of this museum, looking at discoveries, looking at the biographies and the summaries of great people that did great accomplishments here in this museum in Poland, and just get a sense that your unconscious mind has the ability to import directly the essence of what made these people great straight into you. I want you to imagine that every person in their lifetime follows a path, and every path has the ability to move into different directions. Imagine a cycle path that kind of splits into two and then splits into two again. And I want you to imagine that you are importing the ability to use your intuition to help you make decisions to take the right path towards a future where you leave the biggest legacy. What can you do within your lifetime that will echo throughout eternity? And that doesn't have to be inventing something or discovering something. A legacy can just be something that ripples beyond your life. Something you create for the world. A change that you help to facilitate in one person that then enables them to change and then impact another person. What could you do during your life that will ripple beyond your own years? So as people talk about you long after you're gone, what will they say? What could you do? What paths can you take so that you become an inspiration to future generations? They want to import your qualities into their mind. And I want you to get a sense that as you think about that version of you able to make a difference, gives you a taste of the ecstasy that comes from doing something beyond yourself. I want you to tap into an essence of that. Go back to that large picture of you at your most resourceful, and then imagine climbing into the picture and feeling all of those resourceful feelings. Feel that creativity, feel that determination, that persistence, that focus. And I wonder how your unconscious mind can take the qualities of all these amazing people and turn it into something that you're able to use in your everyday life. How will it affect how you wake up in the morning? How will it affect your career that you pursue or the businesses that you run? How will it change the way you communicate with other people? How will it influence the choices you make and the decisions you choose? How will it influence the paths you take? And how will it influence the resources that you import, either through education or inspiration, to constantly evolve what you're capable of? And I wonder how good your life can be when you start believing that you're capable of great things. Imagine turning a key, unlocking all of those incredible resources that enable you to do whatever is necessary. Whatever is necessary to leave a legacy that would ripple beyond your life. Now it's time to leave this palace, this museum, and this city of which find yourself back in the present listening to my voice. But I want you to get a sense that while you're in the present listening to my voice, you have imported additional resources useful for you to level up, to evolve, to become more than you were before, to activate a part of your mind that has less sadness and more ecstasy, more inspiration, more empowerment. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling motivated, resourceful, focused very much on how you will make your life more impactful and to echo long after you're gone. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.